Yeah, I'm not going to go over all that again. For those of you just tuning in, I just said everything about me, and if you have any questions about who I am, just message me, because that's almost as fun as what I just went over, or message your upline, and you can find out about who I am and our team a little bit, okay? So let me share my PowerPoint. We have an awesome guest speaker tonight. Let me go ahead and share. Okay, so let me pull this up. Okay, so just so you guys know, these calls are now going to be primarily focused on training, right? Because, you know, without training and kind of the know-how of how to run the basic facets of our business, right? Whatever kind of consultant you are, we really have no place being here, right? So I could talk all the time I want about all the other things, but training is really where it's at, and that's what you really want, right? So this is our September meeting, as I said. I just want to first gush on all of you and what you're doing, okay? Check out these numbers. Listen to this, okay? These are our rockstar statistics year over year, 2018 versus where we are now, 2019. And guys, this business, right, is built on relationships, right? Your relationship with your upline, the friends you meet, the customers you have, the hosts you engage with, but the numbers don't lie, right? So if you aren't getting what you want from your business, you can get more. You can easily get more. You just have to put it out there to your upline and say, I'm hungry for more. I want $100 more a month. I want to recruit somebody, right? If we don't know what you want, we can't help you, right? So it's really important for you to have your voice and to shout it out loud, because we want to give you what you want. We want to help you. That's why we're here, and that's why we welcomed you, okay? So 2019, August, actual organization sales. So this is my personal team and all the teams in our organization. $30. Give it up, everybody, for you. Way to go. I want to see some claps. Clap it out, okay? That is against 2018 August actual organization sales, $110,688. That is a almost 400% growth year over year. Teams do not have this kind of growth. They just don't. We're one of the fastest teams in the entire company. So what does that mean? You guys are a part of something that is winning, right? So when your upline gives you advice, take it. When there's a booking blitz or a challenge that I put out, do it, okay? Because it's gonna help you get what you want from this business, okay? 2019, August, actual organizational new recruits. So these are new team members, 89. Back in 18, we had 28. That's almost a 310% growth. Again, give me some hearts in the chat if you're like blown away by that, right? Our 2019 total organization sales to date, crazy town. You're a part of a $3,119,000 team. That's without the last 3 months of the year, which are the most lucrative selling months. And then last in 2018, yeah, Rose, give it. I love Rose. Rose is one of the only people I can see, and she is giving me life with her facial expression. All right. So against 2018, our organization sales, $1,479,459. So guys, that is over 200% growth. That is unheard of. That is all you. That is every time you book a party. That's every time you talk about a product. That's every time you bring a Pampered Chef logo bag into the grocery store. That is each and every one of you. Okay? Kirk, I'm going to ask you if you can look at the chat while I'm talking to see anything I'm missing or field anything once I stop talking. Okay? Because there's a lot of things. I'm going to give you that task. All right. So, and then 2019 total organization recruits, 518 to date, 265 last year. Obviously, I forgot to put the last thing there, but that's almost double what we did last year. What? That is crazy, okay? So really, check you out, right? You should be super proud of that. Just to talk about this, you guys have heard this before. This is new as of the end of July. When many of us went to national conference in Rosemont, Illinois, in the end of July, they kind of unraveled this new approach to every month, which is working towards submit 4 or book 4, add 1 more. So for every 4 parties you submit each month, there's no reason you shouldn't be welcoming 1 team member. And here's the thing, maybe you're thinking, well, I don't think I want to have a team, okay? That's okay if you don't want to have a team, but you should want to share the opportunity with other people so that they can have what you have. They can make the money that you're making, because you never know what it would do for them, right? They could be paying a car payment. With the holidays coming up, they might be paying for their kids' Christmas gifts, right? Sometimes it's not about us, right? Actually, for this business, it's not about us. It's about other people, okay? So your upline, we say this business, you're in this business for yourself, but not by yourself. So this idea of book 4, add 1 more, if you have any questions about this, please ask your upline. It's a different pace for every person, right? If you decide that you want to work towards being a leader with Pampered Chef, which means you grow a team, this will definitely help you get there. But also, if you want to blow up your show schedule, especially with the holiday season, right? Because people are looking for holiday gifts. 86% of people are shopping for holiday gifts, all right? And why not us? Why not now, right? Our quality is next to none against all the other things they're going to buy at any other store. Pizza cutter, gone, bad in 6 months. Ours will last you several years, okay? Okay. So looking ahead to October, because obviously we're towards the end of September, this is the consultant sales promotion. So this is kind of hot off the press. So you really want to set your sights on submitting $750 in the month of October or more. I love more, right? When a consultant submits $750 in October, they'll receive this awesome stadium blanket. And this 2-sided blanket is a super soft fleece surface on one side and a nylon waterproof side on the other, so you can enjoy outdoor activities, rain or shine. It's a perfect blanket to bring to bonfires, tailgate parties, and football games. Plus, it has our logo on it, hashtag. Many of you probably saw when I sold a quick cooker and a double burner grill pan in Whole Foods. Anytime you can put product placement anywhere, it's a win-win, and people are going to be talking about it. People are going to say, oh my gosh, I have thought Pampered Chef was gone, but here you are, and I need to buy some stuff. Okay? So to that end too, this is a great logo item. I encourage you to invest in something from PC Gear. It will take you forever to get it, just real talk. But it is worth its weight in gold, okay? Okay, so just wanted to go over really Pampered Chef Home Office is trying this out. They want everyone to be a part of a busy holiday season. So September through March, so this month through March, if a consultant sells at least $20, they will remain eligible to sell. So in other words, a consultant will be dropped from the Pampered Chef only if they have 6 consecutive months with the sales below $20. Now that said, you're not going to get your discount if you don't sell the $150, which your discount is 20% on long-standing products and 50% on one of each of the new fall products that just came out, right? And really, if you're submitting $20, you're making like 5 cents in commission. So while you can do that if you want, we, your upline, and all of us, your leaders, want you to have as much money in that pocket for the holiday. I want you doing this all holiday season long. Okay, so why would you not book more than that to have those sales, right? I will say some of the content in this kind of I'm going over here, a lot of it is embedded in the monthly meeting planner that Pampered Chef Home Office sends out. If you are not having or invited to team meetings by your leaders, you should message them and ask, when is our next team meeting? Because they should be having team meetings every month, and they should be, you should be a part of them if your schedule permits. And some of that stuff, in order to differentiate what we offer on this Zoom call each month, is not going to be as basic as some of the stuff you might hear on your personal team calls. So things like the guest special, the host special, all those things should be covered on your monthly team Zoom that's led by your upline director, okay? You can message me or them if you have questions about that. And then in October, October and May, we always, Pampered Chef partners with the American Cancer Society for help with cancer fundraisers. They will contribute up to 25% of the total sales to the American Cancer Society Hope Lodge program, which is an awesome program. It actually is a place where families that have to travel long distances for cancer treatment can stay together so they don't have to incur expensive plane rides. Normally, they will offer specific pink products, and instead, all contributions will be driven by fundraisers. So start booking your fundraisers today. Some of you may be having trouble booking parties. This is a great way to get a different kind of edge into the door in terms of offering something like this, because so many people have been affected by cancer in their life, okay? So really quickly, I just want to do some recognition because that's what this team is really built on. Many of you will know this. So congratulations to all of those consultants who were active in the month. Active if you're a consultant, senior consultant, or team leader. Well, I lied. Consultant or senior consultant, that would mean you submit 150 in sales. If you are a team leader, you need to submit 750, and then as well as a director at that level. So we had, get this, so our organization has 530 consultants that are in it, right, at this moment. 115 of them sold between $150 to $999. Awesome. 67 sold between $999 and $1999. Crazy. 2,000 to $29.99 in sales. 30 people. $3,000 to $3,999. 9 consultants, and above $4,000, right? And guys, if you don't know this, just think about this. When you are selling $4,000 every month as a consultant, no matter what your title is, you are making the maximum amount of commission you can make with Pampered Chef, which is 25%. How many of you would love to make 25% commission on everything you sell every month? Give me like a wave. Yeah, like hands up, hands up. Yeah, okay. I see Christy's like, yes, please. So, yes, love it. So, look at that, guys. That's 21 consultants, right? 12 of them were consultants, senior consultants, or team leaders. 12 of them, which is crazy, okay? And what that tells me is if you're on this call or you're watching the playback and you're one of those 12, you are ready to work towards being a director with this company. A director means that you essentially are growing a team and becoming a leader, right, and supporting others. And the 2 hardest parts about being a leader with Pampered Chef are having a strong personal business and knowing how to welcome others to the business, right? And if you're selling over $4,000 a month, you're already well over halfway there, right? So take the training wheels off, get pumped, and reach out to your upline because it's time to make some change. Okay? All right, so way to go. We have our Rockstar Organization monthly top recruiters in August. Congratulations to all of those who welcomed new members, 2 or more is kind of the baseline that we want. So let me just pull my paper out because Pampered Not Perfect and sometimes I'm hold on. This is for August, remember. And if there are mistakes, Pampered Not Perfect, this is the report. I see Kim Clements nodding her head. Quite possible. Let me just be sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, yes, Kim. Yes, Kim. Just kidding. You're at the very top. Yep. So Kim, she would not let me go without. I saw her head and I was like, nope. Okay. So Kim Clements and Angie Farrison both had 5 team members. Way to go. Setting the pace for your teams. With 3 team members, Dawn Fishburne, Kim Arter, Jennifer Jones I know is on, Molly Jeffrey, Sherry Bailey, and 2 team members, Beth Fior-Krall, Rebecca Worstel, Sarah Coyle, Leslie Green, Leslie, I know you're on, Lisa Bonigurio, Lisa Cruz, Mickey Walker, Libby Rowe, Amy Walker, and Brittany Frith. So way to go, our top recruiters in August. Oh my God, there are so many people on this call. I'm so excited. Okay. Nope, that's not what I want. Okay, so here's what I really want to talk about in terms of my kind of little nugget of training before we get into our awesome super guest speaker, okay? So many of you have not been around for a Pampered Chef holiday season. And guys, I'm telling you, a holiday season can be hard if you do not plan for it, okay? Because here's the reality. Parties must be submitted by November 17th to arrive by Thanksgiving. You know, we're already in September going into October, so just know in terms of your month, right, you really want to front load your calendars to account for the fact that really that 3rd week of the month of November is kind of lost because it's Thanksgiving, people are busy with their families, you know, it's just a tricky kind of tricky time, especially when, you know, the shipping cutoff has happened. So my advice to you would be to front load the parties in the first 2 weeks of the month. Now I'm going to go over what this looks like for December, but you can certainly do this for November. Okay? Parties for December to arrive by Christmas must be submitted by December 16th. Okay? So what does that do in your mind? That basically cuts your opportunity to sell in December in half. Now, do I work all month long? You better believe, bet your bottom dollar I do. Okay? But I get it. Everybody has families and they have travel and things going on. So if you want to work smarter and not harder, you want to make sure that you are planning for the fact that you're losing essentially these last 2 weeks of December, right? And this is whether you book parties every week, whether you book 2 parties a month, whatever that may be, right? You really want to be strategic at whatever level you are to make sure you're making the money you want to make in the months of November and December. Because again, these months are high lucrative volume months. So if you are not being strategic at whatever level you are, you're leaving money on the table. Put in the chat if you don't want to leave money on the table. Just put like, no, not me. Sorry, not me, not me, not me. I want to see it. I want to see it blow up. Okay, blow it up. All right, so let's look at November and the first 2 weeks of December. Okay, so here's what you want to do. You really want to look at November and December as a combined 6-week month. Okay? Parties, so I have changed, and you all have probably seen this in the 101 document. I have changed my parties to be 6 days. Whether you're doing still 7 days or whatever, that's fine. I needed an extra day for my sanity, and I combined baking day and stoneware day together, and then I have like a day off to close my parties, etc. I start my parties on Fridays, and I end them on Wednesdays. Research shows Friday and Saturday are still the busiest days on social media, and so the first 2 days of my party are all focused on engagement posts, right? And then the remaining days I do themed product days. So what's new, baking and stoneware, gadgets, etc. Okay? So to give you an example of what I'm doing. As you all know, I run a crazy amount of parties a month. But this is even if you don't, even if you do 4, even if you do 6, even if you do 2, okay? For November, what I'm doing, just to give you a sense of how this works, I am running parties to start November 1st and to start November 8th, okay? The November 8th parties will end on the 13th, I believe, and then I'm starting another group of parties on the 15th, but I'm only running them for 5 days. I am eliminating 1 pre-party day and keeping the rest of the days. So that then, let me pull my paper out. So that then I can go ahead and start another wave of parties on the 21st and run for 5 days. So 20. What does that mean then? All my parties are wrapped up before Thanksgiving. There are no excuses for people to cancel or try to postpone or say, oh, it's Thanksgiving, I can't get my order in, right? Blah, 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 blah. And then I'm starting my next wave of parties right after on the 29th. So the bulk of my host coaching is going to happen for those parties starting the 29th, the week prior to Thanksgiving happening. So that the host coaching and the members are all in the group ready to go for the 29th, and then I go and run my parties. Does that make sense? Can I get some nods or whatever? 5-day parties. Barb raised her hand. You can just unmute yourself and ask a question if you want. Or I can try. Hold on. There you go. Barb, you're good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was raising my hand saying here.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry. No, I love that. I love that too. That's good. Just go ahead and unmute yourself because now you're lost in the sea of people. Thank you. Okay. So, and guys, I did this last holiday season. I saw my sales increase. Okay? Because what happens is there's a greater sense of urgency combined with the holiday hustle and bustle and all the things happening that people get their orders in earlier in the party because they know the impending holiday is coming, whatever that be, whether it's Thanksgiving or what, okay? So then at the end of November, I'm scheduling parties that start on the 29th, as I said, on the 5th, and on the 11th, again, 5 days, so that essentially those parties that I have that are going to start on the 21st, you can, based on your income goal, you could essentially strategically hold those parties into the 1st of December and blame it on the holiday. and just say, oh, the busyness of the blah, 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 and the holiday and whatever. Because chances are your host will probably be a little tardy on getting their order in, which will only get the order done closer to the end of the month anyway, in which case everybody will be so busy and that are in the parties that they won't really know that, they're not going to be as strict, I would say, about like, have things been shipped yet? Da, 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 da. Now, that's like in my case, I need to have 4 weeks of parties in every month. In your case, you may just submit those parties by the end of the month and then go into December having your parties that start on the 29th, the 5th, and the 11th. You wrap it up, good to go, etc. Okay? I just want to make sure you understand how this works because people will have excuses as to why November and December are not good times to have parties, and you need to be able to overcome the objection. For Thanksgiving, don't worry, it'll be wrapped up well before Thanksgiving. We'll get your order in. You can enjoy the holiday with your family and friends. Okay? Same thing with Christmas, right? Oh, I know it's December. December's super busy. The shipping cutoff is whatever date, the 16th. We're going to be easy breezy, done, wrapped up. By the holiday, you can enjoy it with your family. All your items will arrive on time for family and friends. Does that make sense? Right? If you have a question about this, I'm giving you permission to message me, which is probably going to be scary. But if I don't get back right away, just keep messaging me because I get a lot of that. Or your upline, many of them have been around the block for a while, so they understand how this holiday season works. But the main thing I want to stress at the end of this is you should shoot whatever level you're at, however many parties you want to have each month, to be booked for the first 2 weeks in January by the first 2 weeks in November. Because think about it, the last 2 weeks of December, you will have no parties probably to book parties from. Right? And this way, when you're coming off of the holiday season, and I know this from doing this for 3 years, sometimes consultants are kind of tired from the holiday and they want to relax, and it's very hard to get their motivation back. But guess what? If you already have 3 parties in your calendar, you better believe you're going to get your stuff together and make sure you have everything ready to go, which will only carry you for success into the following months. Remember, what we do 30, 60, 90 days impacts our success. Wait, what we do now impacts our success 30, 60, 90 days from now, right? So that's why November, right? November, you're going to feel good about January. I remember, she may watch this back, I had a leader who was having a baby one month, and I think it was in January. So what she did was, she had all her parties end before the end of the cutoff in December, and she started booking her parties for February and March, saying to her hosts, I'm having a baby, I need a solid month with the baby, but I'm ready to have your party after that. And she came back like, okay? So the proof is in the planning. If you don't plan, especially with the hustle and bustle of the holidays, it will be very struggle bus for you. Does anybody have any questions about that? You can just unmute yourself. And no question is like a stupid question. No question is like I'm here to help you understand how this kind of cycle of time works. Don't be afraid. Anybody? Ladine, Nicole. Hey, Nicole. Jennifer. Sarah's good. Deborah. Hey, Deborah. Oh my God, so many people. I love it. Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie. Nora. Okay. All right. So, wait, there are some. Let me see in the chat. Let me just check real quick. Makes sense to me. Not me, not me. I love all of these people that say not me. I love it. Show me the money. No way. Show me the money. I need my money. No money on the table. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm loving all of this. Okay. I have like I'm so excited. Okay. You guys are like, he's nuts. All right. So now, before we start into our main training for the night, I want to hand it over to our newest fast track director, our fast track leader with Pampered Chef, Molly Jeffrey. So Molly has only been with Pampered Chef. Listen to this. This is what I say is inspirational. Since June 8th. Okay, think about that. June, July, August, September. 4. We're not even all the way through the 4th month, okay? In that short time, she has sold almost $17,000 and grown a team that this month has over $9,000 in sales. This may have changed since the last time I looked. Hashtag inspiration. So Molly, I would love for you to just share like for, 5 minutes or so, kind of like why you started and really, kind of how you've been able to experience such success and really what drives you to have done this in such a short time. I'm going to unmute. Oh, you're good. There you go.
All right, there we go. Now I'm unmuted. Hi, everybody. I don't even know how to, this is so weird. I don't really talk on these things much, and I'm really bad at public speaking, considering the fact that I'm a teacher. It seems kind of odd. Anyway, like Steven said, I just signed up in June, and it really came out of fear of not being able to make my new house payment because I just moved. I hosted a party with my friend Angie, who is also a fast track director, and I really had no intention of building a team or anything. I just wanted to make a little bit of extra money. And then all of a sudden, things just started growing. Like my first parties were over $1,000, and it just kept going, and bookings kept on coming and coming. And then I was like, whoa, then my cousin's like, hey, I want to do this. And then a friend of hers is like, hey, I want to do this too. And it all just kind of started snowballing. It was crazy. So what was really awesome was having Angie with me, because I've known her for a long time. Our kids have played sports together, and her kids went to the school that I teach at, actually taught at. I'm at a different school now. So it was great to have a partner kind of to go through, because she was kind of learning on her way up too. So one of the things with this was really to break out of my comfort zone. The hardest part for me is reaching out to people and saying, hey, will you have a party for me? Or, hey, want to join my team? But I just sucked it up, because it's so much easier to do things behind the text and a keyboard than it is in person on the phone. So, I mean, I found it super easy after I got through the first couple. And it was funny, because every time I would send a few, I'd send a text to Angie, hey, I just green dotted a few more people. They were all no's. Can't they just, or they ignored me. Can't they just at least say no and look at my messages and just tell me no? The ignoring, I feel, is the worst of it all. So really the key for me was just breaking out of that comfort zone, and even talking on this right now is breaking out of my comfort zone. But how do you say no to Steven when he asks you to talk on a call? So I had, since I'm a teacher, I had a lot of time over the summer to kind of think about it, build my knowledge of the products, build my business, build my clientele. And then the school year started, and that was in August, and things got a little bit slower. And my August, for me, I only had 5 parties, which wasn't a lot. I'm doing like 7, 8, 9 parties a month. So 2 weekends ago, I just went and I said, forget this. I went through all my old parties. I went to all the people who put a comment on that one thing with money wasn't an object post, and I messaged them all, every single one of them, and just said, hey, I see you've got your eye on this. I would love to get you on my calendar for October. My October calendar is almost completely full now. I scheduled 5 or 6 parties just between Saturday and Sunday. Again, it's just breaking out of that comfort zone and just going for it, because really I don't even have to look at them, roll their eyes at me. They can just see my text and put their phone down, or they could respond. And some of the people shocked me, like, oh yeah, you know what? I will do a party. So then that was that confidence boost again, because I was getting discouraged because I had 4 or 5 parties where nobody booked. So really just keep going. In terms of fast tracking, it wasn't even on my radar. August is what did it for me with the consultant deal, with the kit credit. And I just pushed. I'm like, I saw Angie got her fast track, and I'm like, wait a minute, I think I might be able to do this. I was already getting the sales on my own, like 5,000 needed a month on my own. So all I needed was the team. And I just started building and building from there, and asking my friends. I had a friend who used to do some other direct sales. She did some that are no longer around. And I'm like, she's had experience with it. I'm like, hey, you want to get into this? She got into it. I had another friend who did some other companies. She got into it. So it's just really putting yourself out there and asking, and taking no as it is what it is. It might meet just not right now. I'm rambling. I know I am, but some of them, you might get surprised and never know what's going to come of it. Do I need to add anything else, Steven?
No, I love that. That's all great. So we did have one question really quickly, and then one question. So how many people would you say you reached out to from that post to get those 5 parties. So when you said you went back into all of these parties and, responded to people, like, because I think this is so important, right? Like I say it, and like everybody that is on this call, your upline probably says it, but sometimes you need a Molly Jeffrey to be like, real talk, here's what I did, get to work. Because, sometimes like me and I was like, wah, 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 wah. And I get it. So Molly, how many people do you think you actually had to message to get?
Oh gosh, I think I lost count after 30. It was probably upwards around between 50 and 60 that I messaged to get those 5 parties.
Okay, so
what
that
like you got to keep on going.
Yeah, what that says right there. So even if it's more than that, 50 to 60, for every 10 people she asked, she got a party. Every 10 people. Even if it's more, 10 to 12, 12 to 15 is what we kind of say. The one thing I want to wrap up with that before we head to our next speaker is that I love that she said, here's where my schedule is, and I don't like it this way. I want it to be what it was, and I'm the only one that can control what that looks like. So she said, what do I need to do to get it there? She made a plan, she went back, and she did the work. So for those of you that on this call that may not be in the place that you are with your calendar, sometimes the things that we do to get us where we are don't work anymore. Or we need to try something else, or we need to get out of our comfort zone and out of our own head and say, well, I could try this, or I could do this kind of party, or whatever. Just do it. Do it scared, because you're never going to know the return on investment from your time if you don't try, which is what I heard from Molly loud and clear. So thank you so much, Molly, for sharing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
All right, awesome. So next up, she's on the call. She's a dear friend of mine. I just got to spend like almost a whole week with her. So next up, we have Executive Director Trina Lutzke. She's been with Pampered Chef for 8 years. When her first child was almost a year old, she didn't know what Pampered Chef was, which is great because I didn't either, so that's funny. She had 2 jobs already. She didn't know how to cook, and she had a baby. So we probably, she probably would have been prejudged as somebody that, wasn't someone that would say yes. This year, she celebrates being a trifecta earner for excellence in sales, recruiting, developing leaders with a Founders Award, top 20 in recruiting. She runs her organization while staying home with her 3 girls who are 9, 5, and 20 months, which is crazy to me. Her husband of 14 years cheers her on as she hopes to plan early retirement because of Pampered Chef. And her organization last year sold $1.3 million. And to date, Trina has personally recruited 21 people and has qualified 14 of them. So you couldn't hear from anybody better to talk about all different things recruiting and how to overcome objections. So Trina, my dear friend, take it away, and thank you.
Hello, friends.
Hi.
Yes, I'm hoping to all the kids are going to be not making noises. And guys, we bought a puppy yesterday. Why? That wasn't on the 5-year plan. It wasn't on the 5-year plan. But you know what? No matter what craziness you choose, you can work your business. Okay. So we were kind of talking about being able to really be able to talk about recruiting. I'm going to give you guys a couple gold nuggets. We're going to do it Lutzke style, which is probably, it's just a different crazy than Steve's, but it's probably still a little crazy. So you guys are going to have to bear with me. So one of the things that I wanted to just kind of connect with you guys about, so being able to look at, those recruiting stats that Steve was talking about, starting in January until now. Yeah, I mean, I've got 3 little girls, we got to get the points that we need in recruiting. And if you are still looking at a Disney trip, 100% still in your sights, you have a lot of our year left because the fall season, and recruiting is going to be the way to get it. Okay. So being able to really connect, I wanted to first kind of talk about, we need to get back to basics no matter what it is. I love Marta Ross was on a meeting with us once. She was like, Trina, anybody can, you can teach a trained monkey to do our job. It's just about booking and recruiting. That's all it is. Being able to really get back to what those are. And I love that Molly was just even talking about, and that you guys kind of broke down what contacts it takes in order to get things. Just like you break down 10 contacts equals however many parties that actually get booked, you can figure out a conversion rate for recruiting as well, and how it just takes opening your mouth. So many times you guys get so panicked about what it would be, or, ooh, I don't want to judge them, or, ooh, they've already got a good job, or whatever it is. But here's the truth. You said yes. Why wouldn't someone else? At some point you said sure. It's not that crazy to think that this person that you have your eye on might also think this is a good idea. Okay, right? So just being able to have that. So some of the things that I do in my parties, I'm mostly virtual. I do some cooking shows. I have one on Thursday. Kind of been dreading it for about 3 weeks. It's fine. It's going to be fine. She hosts for me every year. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I know it's going to be $1,000 party, but I have to leave my house, y'all. I don't want to. But really being able to figure out, okay, especially in a virtual party, what do you do to be able to kind of put yourself out there? So just really being able to have that perspective. One of the main things I do is I go live a lot. Okay, and I have a lot of chaos that is typically happening in the background. I swear my kids know, I could be like, awesome, I'm going to get through this. It's only going to take like 3 minutes. I'm going to get through it. It's going to be great because no kids are around, and they hear me start talking, and there's like whoosh, they're running in, and they wanted to help with the blender, and they want to help with the cook. Okay, do you see? I have a kid looking at me right now. Yeah. She even knows I'm talking. Like, she's trying to say goodnight.
Whenever I go live, you
Good night.
try to do a video.
Okay, too funny.
Walk in the room
So
and
being able to, I'm sorry, I hear a lot back. Is that me?
No, I'm finding the person. Keep going.
Oh, sorry. I think, so being able to figure out that you're going to have that chaos. And as much as I'm like, oh my gosh, really? I couldn't just get through a meeting without a kid. But here's the deal. You know what that tells you? Hey, she can have these stats and still be a mom. She can have those stats and still have whatever is going on in her life still be in there. And so when people see my kids run in to help, or that I'm just literally making dinner for my family, I'm not making some random recipe that my family would never eat, that's setting the stage for those recruiting seeds on flexibility. So we're going to talk about, there are 3 reasons why people don't recruit. And I'm going to go on, let me go and screen share here a little bit. Okay, show video panel so I can see faces. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Thumbs up. Steven, yes, no,
yeah. It's a little, yeah, I can. It's a little pixelized, but it could just be me.
Okay, well, and hopefully it might be, I was going to say, I know I live in the country now.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I can see it.
Okay, so hopefully it'll unpixelate or whatever as we go going. But so just really, I want to teach you guys to figure out when you're planting these seeds. I go live a lot. I have a video that kind of tells my story so that after they've kind of been introduced to me, I really plant those seeds of what Pampered Chef has done for me personally. And you want to make sure that you are planting these seeds. One mistake that I made, one rookie mistake that I made when I first started Pampered Chef is I was so excited about the reason that I started that was really the only thing I shared. So I was only sharing this picture of a young mom who had student loan debt. Okay, that was the picture that I was painting. And not that that's a bad picture, but I was missing the empty nesters. I was missing the people that love to cook. I was missing the people that wanted to save for something. I was missing the people that maybe the college kids that wanted to earn. I was missing so many people because I was so focused on my why. So make sure that you're planting those seeds all over. But really, there's 3 reasons that people avoid signing on the objections. Okay, so time, fear, and money. And I will argue that every single piece of BS and reason that someone is sitting on the fence, it comes down to these 3. Okay, they are afraid that they don't have the time. They're afraid they're going to fail, or that they're, it's not going to work out, or they're going to be made fun of, or they're going to come off as pushy or whatever. Or they're saying, hey, I don't have the money for the startup kit. And so just really being able to figure out what these are, if you can adjust and figure this out, you're going to blow your mind. Okay. One of the things that in the event, or if I come into into my parties and I'm really hitting recruiting hard, I'm going to talk to them about, here's the deal. Everyone's given the same amount of time. I have the same amount of time as you do. I have the same amount of time today as I did yesterday when I did not have a brand new puppy. I have the same amount of time. I didn't go, you know what, I'm going to get a new puppy, so I'm going to now have 25-hour days. That doesn't happen. And so if you can figure out, that's just really addressing the fact of we have and make time for things that are important to us. Okay, you might have to give or take a little bit. You might have to become a little bit more disciplined. You might have to hone in on some skills of self-management, but it's not, hey, I need to find the time for this. It's a matter of you making time with it. So if I can address that with people right away, that's a big deal. And then I talk to them about fear. Here's the deal, guys. Of course, we're afraid of things. Your brain is designed to keep you safe and alive. That's its job. So when it sees something that is risky, or maybe goes, ooh, remember we tried that before. Remember that credit card debt we racked up because we had to have so much inventory? Ooh, remember how all your friends hated the jewelry that you sold? Okay, ooh, remember how you were just like, I don't know, you were begging people for things, I mean, whatever that fear is that they have. Or remember, how your mom told you were going to be a failure, and remember the look that your husband gave you when you said you were going to try, whatever it is, those fears are coming in, and your brain is designed to remind you of them to make sure you aren't getting into something that is unsafe or detrimental. But everything good is on the other side of fear. Everything good. Okay? You are never going to get what you want if you stay comfortable and safe. You will never get what you want if you stay comfortable and safe. And so if you can help address and connect with someone and say, I get that it's scary, but do you want a life better than what you have? Do you want circumstances that are better than what you have? Okay. And if you can address that and start connecting with that, that's going to make a difference. And then the third thing that people freak out about is money. Hey, I don't have the money for the kit. Okay. And I'll be honest with y'all. We have spent $99 on a lot stupider things in life. And I understand that not everybody has the same financial circumstances as I do or that I had. I bought my kit with garage sale money. Okay, my husband was like, you sat out there for 2 days selling our crap, so I guess I can't really say what you're going to do with this money. If you want to buy more stuff, whatever. He was like, that's fine. And I understand that for some people that are literally lying in bed awake at night going, I do not know which bill do I pay tomorrow that is less behind how to, like some people are literally in that circumstance. Some of you guys might be like, that's my story, Trina, right there. Okay. So I get that it's a little bit tighter, but here's the deal. If someone wants it, they will find $100. I don't care if that's selling blood plasma, selling DVDs on Craigslist. I don't care if that's skimping on your grocery bill, okay, saying no to something, whatever it is, you can find $100. So this objection, honestly, when you find people that just can't get past this, I kind of bless and release a little bit. I might ask them like, hey, do you want some ideas on how to come up with that startup money? Is it $100 too much, or you have 50 and we just need to come up with the other 50? Is it like you just need to rearrange some things with your budgeting? Maybe they don't have any financial planning skills and they need some help with that. I mean, these are real life things that we can help people do. But that person that is literally saying, I don't have the money, they can't afford not to do it. They can't afford not to do it. They need an out. And so really being able to connect with them on that. And here's the deal. You'll have two people that have this money. Hey, would you like some ideas on how to come up with that? Like let's do a kit credit and then maybe save a little bit. Do you think that, in the next 3 weeks we could come up with the money for your startup costs? What do you think? Well, no, I really want that big kit. And I just, this is coming up and then my cat had surgery and stop it, y'all. Like they don't want to do the work that it takes to have a better life. They don't. And so even if you get this person to get past that, okay, maybe they won a free kit or they, whatever, I don't know, whatever type of thing that happens and, that you're trying to incentivize them or, they got their tax return money, whatever gets them past. The truth of the matter is you can pour all these things into them and they're still going to have a lot of work to do to get past that mindset. Okay. So those are the top 3 reasons that people are going to have an objection that we all day with time and fear, because that's a belief system. The money is a little bit more where it gets to the nitty gritty of like, do they have the work ethic to do what it takes? Do they have the work ethic that Molly said, you know what, my calendar doesn't look how I want it to, so let's get to work. Okay, being able to figure that out. So what I'm going to walk you guys through is really the ability, making sure that you're addressing these objections kind of like a soft sell. Like when my family's in the what a quick cooker does saves me time, I'm helping solve that problem for them. I'm kind of getting micro agreements, like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that since I started Pampered Chef, I get all these cool tools for free and it helps me save time and money at the dinner table. Okay, it helps me, if I start letting them know, I'll be like, here's the deal. I know what you're saying. You're afraid that this isn't going to work for you, but here's the deal. I'm good at my job. You're going to join a rock star organization and you're going to get all the supports you need. When you start planting those seeds with things, it starts letting them know like, she might understand me. Like he might get that I have these fears, because you don't want to pretend like they don't happen. You don't want to tell people, well, that's just stupid that you don't think that you have enough time, because I know that you do. It's not you to judge if they're watching too many Netflix. It's their decision to decide if they're willing to give it up. Okay, so how are we doing, y'all? Do we get that these are the three? Would you agree that probably every whine that someone has told you can fit into one of these three categories? Okay, so here's what I want to train you guys to do. And this is the skill, okay? It needs to be refined, but if you can even just take that step back and start learning which of those three problems you're hearing when someone gives you a conversation. And again, one, in order to hear any of these things, you have to open your mouth in the first place to start a recruiting conversation. So there's that. Because if there isn't that, then you have nowhere to go, okay? And some of those might come from you literally saying something like, hey, I know this might seem out of the blue, but I was thinking about what an awesome host you were for me in the spring. Are you looking to earn some extra money for Christmas? Okay, you might say, hey, you were the awesomest guest in this party. I am always looking for people like you on my team. Are you looking for something that's really flexible? You know what I mean? Just being able to start those conversations, and then they're going to give you a response, and you need to figure out what you hear. Now, I'm sure you're able to send screenshots to your upline or to Steve or in your team pages or whatever and get some of this help. But the skill that you want to be able to start grabbing yourself is being able to hear the things that your more seasoned uplines or recruiters hear, so you can start addressing them yourself and just being authentically you. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, I would love to, but finances are just so tight right now. Should be an easy one. What problem do you hear? Give a holler in the chat. Give a holler in the chat, y'all. I'm getting my things coming up here. There you go. They're popping up. Yes. Okay, yes, ma'am. Money. Okay, money. Good. Yep, I've heard that a lot. Okay, now here's the deal. No, so if I can hear that it's money, okay, the first thing I want you to notice, what is the first part of that sentence? Are they saying, no, I'm not interested? I would love to, but. So they have a barrier of belief. And the reality is money is so tight right now. It's not, no, literally, I don't have any money. It's probably, I would feel like this was spending money on myself, and I would feel guilty because if I don't make my money back, then what? Then I spent $100 on like gourmet kitchen gadgets, like when my kids couldn't have dance lessons. Like, I don't have a right to do that. Okay. If you can zoom out and hear that story that they're telling behind you just with this, it's going to make you approach them a lot differently. Okay, does that make sense? Because I see this and go, okay, so this person wants to, but they don't believe that they're going to make their money back. And they don't currently have expendable income. So if I can start addressing that right there, and I know that that's the problem, okay, that's a lot different. You know, being able to be, instead of just being like, oh, it's $100, like just do X, Y, and Z. So just really being able to listen to that one. Okay, how about this one? That sounds great, but I'm not a very good salesperson. Which objection is this? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Which objection is that? That sounds great, but I'm just not a very good salesperson. There it is, y'all. They're afraid. Okay, maybe they've tried this before. Maybe they've hosted parties before and they didn't go well. Maybe they had to do something like this in their regular job and it just was so uncomfortable and they just didn't know. Okay, like, being able to let them know, like, they're afraid they're going to fail. Like, they want to be me. They would love to have extra money. They love that this might be flexible enough. And man, they saw my paycheck and like, this sounds really, really great. Like, you know, he or she seems really fun to work with, but like, man, like, you don't want me. If you can zoom out and see that this person is just struggling with whatever they're struggling with that idea of fear, and being like, hey, how do I approach that? Then that's going to be a different way for you to be able to connect with them where they're at. And recruiting is, and just like getting hosts, this business is about relationships. So if you are hearing the struggle that they have and you are able to connect with them, and you're like, well, why would you say that? Or have you tried something like this before? Or like, you know what? I used to think that too. And then I realized it's not really about being salesy. Or I have a bunch of skills that'll help you share the things that you love. You were so great in this party. That's all you have to do. If you took that into being a consultant, It's just going to be a natural flow. So being able to address that. So how about this one? I already have 2 jobs and I work over 60 hours a week. If someone were to send you that message. Ooh, I love that Deb even said like confidence. Okay, good. Now they're worried about time. Okay, like I get it. Like I quit my job, my full-time job 2 years ago. But when I started, I had 2 jobs. Like I said, I've got a family. I volunteer at church. Like I've got stuff going on. Like, but being able to, I look at that and I go, dang, I bet she probably hates working 60 hours a week. Maybe this could be the second job that didn't have to take over her life. Okay, what if I could earn for her in 5 hours what she's earning in 20 hours at this job? Okay, you know, just being able to figure that out. So we go, oh, you know, you're right. No, she doesn't have time. She already told me that she has 60 hours a week. Oh, I get it. No, I know it's really hard to fit things in. Do not stop. These are objections. These are not no's. These are problems. And you are supposed to be a solution-minded recruiter, consultant, and service-minded person that you're going to be able to help them out. Okay, so do we kind of understand, like, hearing the problem? So now we're going to look over here, y'all. Okay, so these are some real things that I've had, some real responses, and I want you guys to kind of connect on how you think that you would respond and maybe help me push you in the direction of where it should be, okay? Says, no way. Thanks for asking, but I tried selling Discovery toys and something else in college, and I suck at it. I would love a free trip, but I'm not self-motivated enough to do what you do. Okay, what objection do you hear? Which of our 3? Go and tap that in. Which one are you hearing in this one? Good, a lot of fear, right? I mean, she was straight up like, and here's what's really interesting. If you really zoom out, okay, because the first thing, you hear no way, and you're like, ooh, that stings. Ouch, I got a rejection, right? But like, she tried selling Discovery toys and something else. That means she wanted this opportunity to work badly enough that she went for it a second try. Okay, like that's really telling to me like, dang, she does want something like this to work. Okay, I like that she also said in college. If I take a second to listen to that, I mean, maybe this was a decade later. Like how many of us do not want to be the person we were in college? I would not have been like, no, no, thank you. I have some life experience under my belt now, and I probably would have really sucked at this in college. Okay. So just being able to look at what that experience is, and just even her just saying, I suck at it. Like, oh, get on my team so I can give you some positive affirmation training and help you, you know, just believe in yourself more in every aspect of life. And then it's interesting, this person even goes into, I would love a free trip, and I'm not self-motivated enough to do what you do. So if I were to look at that, because I mean, like, for me as an executive director, people do, they see me and they go, whoa, like, Trina's over here earning trips to Paris and Disney and big paychecks and quitting her job and whatever. Like, they don't have to do what I do, but that might be their perception. Okay. You know, same thing when I would go to cooking shows, they'd be like, oh, I'm too shy to do what you do. You know, I do most of my business on Facebook, right? Okay, like there's different ways to do it. So when you see something like this, it is really important that you take that step back, you zoom into all those dimensions that are happening. When you're screenshotting this to your seasoned recruiter, your upline, your director to Steve, he's hearing all of these things with it. And that's why he's crafting the message that he is helping you craft. Okay, not being able to be like, oh, you know, I mean, like suddenly some of you guys would like get super distracted or be like, oh, no, she doesn't want to, you know, thanks for asking. And, you know, I said, thanks for your time and walked off. Push, not in a pushy way, but in a like, let's rescue her from her like self-doubt and, you know, hey, I failed at 2 things and hey, I'm not good enough to be like you. Like, let's rescue her from that. Okay, let's look at this next one. Figure out if we can figure out what we would hear. Come on, little guy. Loading. Well, that's slow. Wait for it. Do you not like me, slide 5? Oh, friends, I was born in the Twin Cities, lived in Tulsa for a long time, and now I live in the sticks. I would pay someone $500 to go hold something out in my driveway to just get me good internet. What is this? I mean, I would legit like pay an.
Do you want me to pull it up from our chat or try to pull?
Oh, Maybe it just didn't like slide 5. Slide 5 is just the devil. It's fine. We're on slide 6 now. Okay, it says, hey, thank you, but I'll pass for now. Okay, let's be honest. In the chat, how many of you would have just took your tail and ran? You said, oh, nope, I don't know what to do. You just said this. They said, no, thank you. Like, I'm supposed to stop talking to him, right? Let's be honest. How many of you would have done that?
Many are saying me. Nina said try again. Love that, Nina.
There you go.
Christy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to train you to do, guys, but I will pass for now. Hey, thank you, but I will pass for now. So honestly, it's already a win. This person responded to me. Okay, if they hated me and Pamela so much, they would have ignored me. You know what I mean? Like, for whatever reason. So I want to encourage you when you hear this. It's really hard to figure out what it is. I don't know. I can't necessarily with this pinpoint time, fear, or money, but I know through my training it is one of these 3 things. So I want you guys to look at something like this instead of going, oh, no, they said I'll pass. Like, hard pass. Okay, I'm sure you heard that from all the different times. Like, no, why not investigate a little bit further? Okay, maybe you're recruiting and maybe you could get them to do a show. That's a little bit of a softer commitment that maybe they'd still be interested in doing, and you can continue building that relationship and figuring out what that is. Okay, or being like, hey, no problem, thank you so much for getting back to me. You know, you are just so awesome to work with. Do you mind if I connect with you in another month or 2 when I know what the specials are? You know what I mean? Like, you know, just to see if your circumstances change. Because here's the reality. They might say, I don't need this. And 2 months from now, maybe they lost their part-time job or they were cut by on their hours or whatever, or that person that was telling them they would fail, they're not dating them anymore or whatever. And now they're like, I'm all in. Okay, so like you need to be able to look at this and say, okay, am I willing to figure out if they want to do it, if there's something inside of them that wants to do it, it's either time, fear, or money, okay? And if they're not interested in all, honestly, I want to hear that. I want to hear, you know what, I'm not interested, no thank you. I'm just not interested in doing anything like that. Like, I don't want another job. Like, I'm good. I want to hear that so that I know how to continue to spend my time. Okay, I want a yes, like a hard yes or a hard no from every single person. That is really a goal that I have, because then I know where to spend my time. Because again, ready for honesty time? How many of you have been chasing the same person who keeps saying, yeah, no, I think maybe this fun. Oh, well, let me know what the special is. Oh, I just got so busy. Maybe after this summer. You've been chasing this same person. And I'm not saying don't follow up with them, but you keep thinking my Disney points are with them. No, they're not. Go find someone else. Okay, get a hard yes or a hard no, and don't push in the sense of being like pushy and like rawr, but push in the sense of figuring out, is there more to the situation for them? Okay, I'm just not outgoing like you are. I could never do what you do. Okay, so take off your thinking cap, you know, like being able to hear this. Okay, I'm hearing fear, right? Okay, I'm hearing fear. Okay, so being able to do that, one, you don't have to be as outgoing as I am. God bless it. The world only needs one of me. Okay, my team only needs one of me. like everybody brings different strengths. And so being able to be like, oh, you totally could. This virtual party thing is great. I have a lot of people on my team actually that suffer from anxiety, and they are able to have a successful business running this the way that they are comfortable running it. Addressing those things right away. Again, they didn't say they didn't want to. They are just saying, I'm never going to be as good as you, so I'm not even going to try. Run alongside them and be able to address that. Hear what the issue is and ask more questions. You know, if I just say, hey, well, did you know that most of our people are virtual? They hide behind the camera. I mean, I choose to go live all the time because that's me. But, you know, we have people sometimes that share my videos or home office videos. Like, does that make you feel more comfortable? They might go, oh, I didn't know that was an option. I just thought you had to. Because remember, guys, like, because we're in it, we forget all the crazy perceptions that people have of what our job is. Like, even like I post using SynShare, they think I'm on Facebook all day. They think I'm on there posting, and they're like, I have a regular job. I can't do that. I'm like, girl, I'm not on Facebook. Like, I didn't check in until 9 o'clock when my kids were asleep. You know what I mean? Like, that's because that's what worked for me. So being able to do that. To me, a hard no is no, thank you. I'm not interested in that at all. Like, I'm not interested. Than that, if they're just saying, I really don't want to, then they're fair game. And I ask more questions to figure out how I can serve them down the road. Okay. What do I need to do? Which of the three is that one? What do I need to do? If I say, hey, you should join my team, well, what would I need to do? Probably time. Okay, I would think time would be big. I think there's a little bit of fear in there too, yeah, because they're now afraid, like, okay, am I gonna get that big? Do I have to buy $1 billion in inventory? Okay, you say it's really easy, but then you said, no, you have to submit, $8,000 in your first 10 days or you're screwed. Like, they don't know. They don't know, especially if they've tried something else, they don't know. Sometimes I get asked really weird questions and I don't understand. And then I'm like, oh, like, did you guys know, again, not to throw another direct sales company under the bus, but did you know that with Tupperware to be active, it's $600 or you can't sell the next month? So like, if you don't have $600 in sales in September, you can't have parties in October. So you know how you go to those vendor fairs and these people have all like tables and stacks of Tupperware? It's because they had to buy themselves to be active when they were just trying to be really part-time. Okay. So like being able to hear what those fears are and just addressing and hear this, keep it simple. Do not word vomit from this question. Okay, do not tell them about your tax deductions. They don't freaking care. Okay, they do not need to know that they can deduct their zucchini at the grocery store. 100% not what they care about. But when you start word vomiting those things, they suddenly start going, oh, God, taxes? I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? Like, no, stop. Address, just say, well, you what you do is you grab a kit and that gets you in. Okay, you can pick whatever kit you want, just whatever goes with what you want in your kitchen. And then I help you get started with parties. Like, keep it simple. Let them ask another question to figure out which of these fears it is. Is it more about time? Is it more about they're afraid they won't get parties? When you start answering just with what they're addressing at, that's going to make a big difference. Okay, I really struggle with technology. There's no way I could figure out how to do all this online stuff. They're afraid. They're afraid. Okay, and I'm not gonna lie. If you're like me, you might be like, this person's gonna take a little bit of extra time. But you know what? Maybe no one else is willing to give that time. Maybe nobody else was willing to train them and to help them learn a new skill. Anybody can learn technology, guys. It just takes them time and teach them how to search YouTube and Google. My friends, okay? Anybody can be taught that, and you'll be amazed. I've had some people on my team that are really, really technology like challenged, and they took like a lot of investment up front, but now they're off and running because someone finally taught them some skills. Okay, so all of those examples just kind of going through. When someone responds, what I want you guys to do is going back to the basics. Well, one, you got to open your mouth because you have no response if you didn't open your mouth. Right? Okay. And again, I don't care if you're a leader, okay, that are hitting some of your goals, okay, or if you're a brand new consultant, you have to open your mouth. So the first thing is, figure out which fear you're dealing with. Okay. Figure out which fear you're dealing with. Okay. Look at it and say, okay, what do you hear? So that you can connect with them on that personal level. Nobody wants to think that you're just mowing over them. If they're afraid, or if they don't have the money, or if they're afraid of not having time and you are dismissing that concern, they are not going to sign up with you. Okay, it is so important that you allow them to voice that concern and to kind of be vulnerable with that, but that you do in fact have a solution for them. Okay, so number 2 is only respond to that fear. If you only hear that they're afraid of time, okay, only address time type things, being like, well, did you know I use a posting service? Did you know that I help you get started? Did you know that I can do 3-way calls with, you know what I mean, or whatever? Do you know that it only takes, an hour to do a Facebook, or whatever it is? Okay, do you know that you can pick and choose how often you want to work and how many shows you want to do? Only address that fear. Don't start babbling about everything else because you know what? Like me, I had all 3 fears. But if you're dealing with someone that only has one, there's no need to put the other afraid things in their cart. Okay, don't do that. Okay, it's going to mess with them. Okay. Number 3 is that get a micro agreement. What I mean by that is if you can connect with them and be like, well, you want to get some like nods. Maybe you're doing a Facebook chat. Okay. Maybe you're doing like, well, hey, did the party seem really easy to participate in? Or like, it seems really easy to play along, right? Or didn't it seem really, did you know that, I use a posting service? That would help you out, right? Okay. Did you know that I give you scripts to use? Like, get them kind of like agreeing with you a little bit step by step as they're overcoming this fear. Because they're not just going to go from being like, hey, I'm a failure, to like, yeah, I'm your next fast track director in a 10-minute conversation. Okay. And then ask another question, because you need to be able to pull back those layers of what those fears are. Okay. Is it really only time, or are they really afraid that they're going to fail again? Okay. Or, is it really the money, or are they just really afraid they're not going to make their money back? And so if they do this investment, then they feel guilty. Continue to ask questions and then only respond to that question. And eventually you'll be able to figure out what they need, and then be able to, again, work towards that hard yes or that hard no, or that, okay, maybe later, go on your lead list for later. Okay, I think that is the majority. I know, sorry, we're kind of going over. I don't know what time my time officially slotted to start. But hopefully that just kind of gave you guys just, again, that encouragement of, you have to listen to what they're saying. Well, you have to open your mouth, and then you have to listen to what they're saying, and you have to care about their fears more than you care about your goals or your numbers or your Disney trip or your fast tracking or whatever you might be working towards. There it is, my friend.
I love it. So we are over, but I don't care because we still have 56 people on. So I love that. So
I captured you all.
Does anybody have a question for Trina? You can go live, unmute yourself, or you can post it in the chat. We're getting Trina. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me see if there's any questions before. Hard no. She kind of answered that. Thank you so much. Awesome training. Thanks, Trina. Love your encouragement. Thank you so much. Very motivating. Thank you. Thanks for the great info. Thank you. Great information. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Yay. Trina and I are very, we like to be real. There's no.
That's why I was like, well, typically I shake things up when I come to a meeting, but I'm like, yeah, Steve's team won't be surprised.
No, I mean, listen, they're sick of hearing from me. So great info. Thank you. Great.
But sometimes I'm like shocking to these nice, quiet directors that are like, okay, will you just come and just be loud for a minute? And I'm like, yep.
Yep. Great recruiting tips. I got one maybe after the new year. Awesome. All right. Thank you. That helped motivate me, Barbara.
You know what I would tell them, that New Year person? Oh, no, I will happily check back with you in January. But are you really going to miss out on all the Christmas sales? Shouldn't we do it just before Christmas? Let's see if we do that. And then you can take a break after Christmas.
Yep.
Get them now. They're missing a paycheck.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, our monthly team trainings are back and alive and well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Shout it from the rooftops. We'll have another one, obviously, next month. It was so great to see so many of you, and I think this is the most we've ever had on a call like this. We were up to 68 at one point, which was so awesome. 20% of our organization, which I will take any day. So thank you so much for investing time in your business. We are here for you, and thank you so much for being a part of our Rockstar organization. And thank you, Trina, for your time. I know you're a busy lady. The recording will be posted soon, and then, of course, if you're a leader, share it with your teams, because this was great, worth the price of admission. And if you have consultants that are on your team and you're not a director, you obviously share it with them as well. But thanks so much for staying with us, and have a wonderful week. Bye, everybody.